It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on Crazy Radio, weather always comes first. A strong spring storm system is going to bring blizzard conditions from the central high plains to the upper Midwest today, while severe storms are possible in the Midwest. Gusty winds and dry conditions continue critical fire weather today into Friday from southwestern Texas into the southern high plains. Closer to home, lighter winds and cooler temperatures are expected. Allergy sufferers be advised of dust and dander being very high. Pollen is not bad yet, but we are watching it inch its way up. Today is going to be rough for those with sinus issues and asthma. A very dry air mass is going to linger this week. With slowly warming temperatures and light winds, afternoons could become breezier headed towards the weekend. We'll have another look at the weather following this news.
Roadblocks are subject to change without notice. Highway 70, Highway 380, Highway 54, Owen Road, Nike Avenue, and War Highway are scheduled to remain open all day.
An area in Otero County was evacuated as fire agencies responded to a vegetation fire. The evacuations were for residents north of U.S. Highway 82 between mile markers 31 and 33. That area is near Mayhill, east of Cloudcroft. The U.S. Forest Service and Otero County fire crews responded. The Cloudcroft Fire Department says the community has not impacted by the flames. The fire is estimated to be around 100 acres in size. The Aspen Fire near Capitan broke out yesterday as well. It achieved a footprint of around 10 acres and quickly brought under control, ending any forward progression. The incident was then turned over to the State Forestry Department. All county resources were released. The Village of Tularosa is having a regular meeting this evening at 6. You can check out the meeting agenda by visiting villageoftularosa.com. Keep Tularosa Beautiful has an event coming up. We spoke with Rusty Helton.
Well, we're going to have our first cleanup this year on March 29th. Going to go from 8:30 to 10:30. Got all kinds of special prizes that have either been donated or purchased, including ugly pies, Alamars, the taco truck. I think it's going to be a good deal. The weather should be good. We're going to pick up a lot of trash and make Tularosa beautiful.
And what day is that going to be happening on?
It's going to be on Saturday, March 29th.
So that's coming up pretty quick. Where do people meet and what time?
We're going to meet at the Tularosa truck stop where the truck's parked there at 8:30. And you can pick up trash as long as you want to, but we're going to pack our bags up about 10:30.
For more information, send a DM through the Keep Tularosa Beautiful Facebook page. The City of Alamogordo presents Easter in the Park. That's a free event happening on Saturday, April 19th from 9 until noon. A community egg hunt, food and craft vendors, petting zoo, bounce house, and a whole lot more. Plus, the Easter Bunny will be on hand. The Sidney Paul Gordon Shooting Range proudly presents Women on Target from Women of the NRA, happening Saturday, April 12th. $25 per participant, due at the time of registration. The registration fee includes certified instruction, lunch, use of firearms with instructors, ammo, targets, door prizes, and a whole lot more. 575-443-9006. News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
From basic to advanced computer repairs, it's GalacticGeeksPCRepair.com. Local business owned and operated by Greg Gutierrez. Available for on-site work from 9 to 6 daily. Installations, upgrades, even virus repair. For information, email Greg at GalacticGeeksPCRepair.com. Google IT support, professionally certified.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
A man who sent sexual messages to 2 undercover cops who he thought were minors was sentenced yesterday. Sean Rhea sent explicit photos and videos to who he thought was a 12 and 13-year-old. He asked that they do the same. Rhea took a plea deal back in February, pleading guilty to child solicitation. Judge David Murphy sentenced Rhea to 1 year at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Bernalillo County. A New Mexico man was sentenced to the maximum time behind bars for voluntary manslaughter. In January 2023, Lloyd Edwards called 911 to report his wife, Roxy, had been stabbed in the neck. Officers were given inconsistent statements from Edwards about what happened. Roxy later died at the hospital. During the trial, prosecutors presented evidence that a knife containing the victim's blood was found in Edwards' possession. The jury found Edwards not guilty of second-degree murder, instead convicted him of voluntary manslaughter. He was sentenced to 6 years. Albuquerque city councilors passed legislation to help renters know and protect their rights and hold landlords more accountable. Councilor Tammy Feeblecorn sponsored a bill to enhance enforcement efforts when landlords are not providing basic needs to renters like air conditioning, heating, and door locks.
It's really needed and vital that we do this for folks. We've heard over and over again how many times people are going without basic safety measures in their homes.
The legislation passed on a 9-0 vote. Now the city of Albuquerque will create the role of a code enforcement officer who is supposed to hold landlords accountable if they neglect basic living conditions as deemed by the city government. The officer is going to field calls, issue citations, and let renters know their rights as the property owners convert those rental properties into for sale by owner properties. Legislation that would require greater transparency from lobbyists in the Roundhouse has passed the Senate and awaits a concurrent vote in the House before it can head to the governor. The legislation, which was sponsored by Representative Sarah Silva, Democrat, Las Cruces, would require lobbyists to disclose what legislation they're working to influence and identify the clients paying them to do that work. The information would be shared in a report that would be available on the legislature's website, along with the relevant bill, just like fiscal impact reports and other documents that are currently posted there for the public. This basic transparency is not currently required in New Mexico, and this bill was opposed by our own John Block. No! HB 143 would require a paid lobbyist to file a lobbyist activity report within 48 hours trying to influence an issue or help writing a bill or changing their position on a bill. Lawmakers have until Saturday at noon to get a new state budget to agree on how to spend the state's $13 billion in revenue and get that plan up to the governor's desk. House lawmakers unveiled a $10.8 billion spending plan just as the session got started. It was sent to the Senate by the end of February. The Senate Finance Committee met yesterday afternoon to give the final stamp of approval. Chairman George Munoz says it's looking pretty good right now, but revealed the Senate had to fix nearly $3 billion worth of issues. That includes extra funding for road projects and the early childhood education and care department. They did all that while reserving roughly 30% of the state's money in reserves.
It's as good as it can get. I don't see anybody beating down my door that they need something else. We've tried to make everybody whole. We've tried to do the right things for New Mexicans.
This year's budget proposal includes another pay raise for teachers along with other education funding boosts. There's also significant investments in housing solutions and behavioral health resource expansion. Another round of multi-million-dollar investments in state trust funds are there as well. This is something Munoz says is putting New Mexico's bank account in a good spot.
We have set New Mexico up not to ride the oil and gas roller coaster anymore. By 2030, our investment returns will exceed what we generate out of revenue out of oil and gas.
The Senate Finance Committee approved the budget proposal on a 9-2 vote. Lawmakers are expected to move quickly on this, sending it back over to the House to hopefully have a little more time left for any last-minute debates. The governor does have line-item veto power over the budget, meaning she can take out anything she doesn't like but cannot add anything she wants in. A Texas resident infected with measles traveled through Guadalupe and Valencia counties earlier this month. The public is now being advised that they could have been possibly exposed to measles. If you visited those places and you're unvaccinated or unsure of your status, check on your vaccination records and get caught up on any missing doses. Measles symptoms can start with a cough, runny nose, and eye redness. It then progresses to fever and rash that begins on the head and spreads all over the body. Anyone with symptoms needs to isolate and then call your healthcare provider for testing. The health department helpline can also be reached at 833-796-8773. Dr. Teresa Jackson of New Mexico Bariatric Institute spoke about bariatric surgery's possible advantages and risks for maintaining a healthy weight.
You know, all bariatric surgeries actually share the same type of risk. And in general, it's the same risk of any surgery. So you have the risk of bleeding, infections, either at the skin level or down deep. when we're in there working, we could hurt something around where we're working. There's a lot of organs in there, and we're trying to only touch the ones we're supposed to, but everything's sort of squished together. And so you could accidentally injure the spleen or the liver. When you make divisions of your gastrointestinal tract, like the stomach or the small bowel, there's always a chance that your body doesn't heal it quite right. And if it doesn't heal it quite right, you could have a little hole, and that means stomach juices or intestinal juices can leak out, and that is called a leak. So a lot of patients who are exploring this hear about leaks. They're actually very uncommon. I've never had one, and so I'm going to knock on wood right now. But that's sort of the scariest complication for most patients.
Jackson appeared on KRWG. New Mexico may never be a leader in aquaculture, but some fish farmers are finding a lot of success here in the desert.
Professor Rosanna Salnave with New Mexico State University says the U.S. is among the top 5 consumers of fish and shellfish. She believes aquaponics, used to raise large quantities of fish and plants in relatively small volumes of water, is highly suited to promoting sustainable agriculture.
I think the future here in New Mexico is recirculating systems because we are running out of water, and that's the area of aquaculture that is really gaining some traction here in New Mexico, particularly aquaponics.
Salnave says New Mexico's unique environmental and biological resources include 15 billion acre-feet of saline water. She notes it cannot be used for traditional agriculture or for drinking water, but could be used for aquaculture. Global demand for seafood is projected to increase by 70% in the next 30 years, and experts believe a dramatic increase in aquaculture could help supply those food needs. According to Salnave, aquaculture, like most farming enterprises, is highly risky because many variables must be controlled over a long period to produce a marketable crop. If control is not maintained, a crop can be lost, resulting in substantial financial losses. But she says it can be a viable enterprise for those willing to educate themselves, keep abreast of new technologies, and apply what others have learned. And compared to traditional agriculture, aquaponics requires significantly less fresh water.
You can grow protein and you can grow plants in a small recirculating system which needs very little water, just topping up a little bit weekly to replace evaporative losses.
Salnave says the site selected for an aquaculture enterprise, which must meet the biological criteria for the species proposed, has a significant impact on an operation's viability. One New Mexico success story is Americulture near Animas, which started producing Nile tilapia commercially more than a decade ago, using geothermally heated greenhouses in pure well water from a desert aquifer. I'm Roz Brown reporting.
Sports and weather are coming up next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, that just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
There are 15 games for New Mexico softball today, including Clint at Chaparral. 18 games for New Mexico baseball today, including Fabens at Chaparral. Wildcat Cheer is having a state showcase tonight at 6 p.m. at the Tularosa High School gym. Come see what the ladies are taking to state, learn the cheers, and help them out on the floor. Show some support for the ladies who support everything else all year long. Your Crazy Radio spot on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny and cool, winds gusting up to 21 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, sunny and warmer tomorrow. Your high today in the basin, 58, low tonight of 31, high tomorrow, 68 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny and cool today, winds gusting up to 29 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, winds gusting up to 18, sunny and warmer tomorrow, winds gusting up to 21. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 38, wind chills are going to make it feel like it's 5. Low tonight of 16, wind chills are going to make it feel like it's 9. High tomorrow, 48 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting KALHradio.org. Also check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. And that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.